Hello and welcome to another episode of intelliTALKS. Today I have a special guest, my friend Amit from Proboxx. Hey Amit, welcome.
Hey, thank you. What's going on?
Hey,
Thank you
happy to
for
have you
having me.
here. Hmm?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. I come, I
it's
think, on the right time because we're going to talk about it. But I think today or these days, let me put it this way, logistics became a really, really significant part of any Amazon seller. And it's like, I don't want to say it's the hottest topic on Amazon, but it's one of the hottest topic now due to many, many reasons. And hopefully we will be able to cover it today.
yeah. Actually, it is one of the hottest because with fees and everything regarding to logistics, things are crazy. You know, Amazon is constantly, uh, let's say, putting their hand in the seller's pocket and trying to get as
Right.
much as possible. So having a good logistics is key, that's for sure. So yeah, this is why I've got here Amit to tell us a little bit about how we can tackle that and maybe some tips and tricks. But first, Amit, tell everyone a little bit about yourself and a little bit about Proboxx.
Cool. So I'm 42 years of age, uh, doing logistics, I don't know, I would say 15 years easily. Starting here doing logistics for like commercial company, doing import and export, nothing related to Amazon whatsoever. On 2017, like I got a rumor from like a friend of mine that said, listen, there is like a legit logistics business for Amazon sellers. I have no idea what does it mean, what does it talk about, what the fuck is Amazon? So on my English language here. But like I guess every entrepreneur, basically, I simply dive into the world and said, okay, let me find first customer, try to understand what's going on, what does it mean shipping to Amazon. I don't even remember how I managed to find the first customer, but basically I study on him, so to speak. So I had my experience and background in logistics, but again, it's a total different ball game. And then, yeah, for that point on, basically, we located in Israel. We have offices in China, US, and in Israel, our headquarters. At that time, there was just one Israeli company doing logistics for Amazon sellers. So there was a big market, right, for maybe new provider like myself and my company, and it's grew like crazy. And in general, I would like describe myself as a problem solver. So in logistics, what we do, like because in logistics, basically as a freight forwarder, we don't really actual touching the goods itself, right? So we have subcontractors all over the world. Some of them just doing the loading, some of them the shipping line, some of them like the custom broker. But eventually, we are like handling those parts together in order to have a smooth operation. So myself,
Mhm.
as the company owner, basically I'm a problem solver. So there is like constant problems all the time, especially now in the market when the ocean freight rising like crazy as it is now. And um, what I'm good at is like, okay, I hear about a problem, and now how we tackle it, how we solve it, and how we find a solution to the customer. So that's basically what we do. This is like, and more specific. In general, we provide logistics services for Amazon sellers, rather if it's from China, from India, from Pakistan, all over the world, as long as related to Amazon and e-commerce in general.
Brilliant. Also, myself, I am an Amazon seller, so I'm very eager to our conversation today, Amit.
Yeah.
I would like to pick your brain in regards to a simple question at the end of the day. How can sellers
So
like myself and others that are watching us right now can optimize, let's say, the shipments and or try to minimize the new fees because it's all a money game at the end of the day. So yeah, maybe you have a, let's say, a good perspective on optimization of the costs in this area.
Right. So that's maybe the question right now these days on Amazon. So basically, let's describe what happened, right? So around February 2024, Amazon announced the new inbound placement fee, right? To describe it easy or easiest for all our listeners. So let's say you have 100 cartons, right? So up until like February 2024, Amazon allowed you rather to send it to one location or to three locations free of charge, right? So you create a shipping plan, 100 cartons. Rather, they're gonna send you to one location or to three locations, but there is no any other fee whatsoever. And once it arrived to FBA, Amazon basically distributed all around the US, right? So for a prime buyer, right, they will be able to get it like in 24 hours. But basically from February 2024, Amazon put a stop sign to that. And they said, okay, we're not gonna basically fund this process anymore, right? And now they give you basically three options. So again, we take the same 100 cartons. So you rather need to send it to 5 locations without paying additional fees, or to 3 locations with like whatever amount of inbound placement fee, or to 1 location with higher fees. Overall, a rule of thumb in logistics is that the higher the volume of your shipment, okay, let's say you have 100 cartons, 10 cubic meter, the better the rate per unit or per cubic meter will be, right? So if Amazon basically split your inventory to 5 locations, that means that your freight cost will rise. So rather you're gonna pay this to your freight forwarder, right? Directly to your freight forwarder, splitting into 5 shipments, or you're gonna pay those basically fees to Amazon with the inbound placement fee. That's a fact that we cannot find really a solution for that, right? So I'm telling you for a fact that the shipping costs raise you, putting aside now the freight cost itself, right? So let's say we have the same exact shipping freight as it was 3 months ago. Before the inbound placement fee, your freight charges were increasing 15 to 20%. Another thing that Amazon did is on the same time, basically, they promote aggressively the AWD solution, right? Amazon Warehouse Distribution Center. And why is it? Because he said, okay, now if you're gonna use our AWD service, okay, so you will not pay any inbound placement fee whatsoever, right? You're gonna just pay us the storage cost, the inbound, the outbound, and that's it. So for sellers, it's very easy, right? Because you send the whole inventory to AWD, and then Amazon send it to FBA upon your sales velocity, basically, and upon your capacity on Amazon. So I see a huge shift now of sellers that are not using any more 3PL in America, change their methodology to AWD, or send by 5 shipments directly to FBA with smaller, let's say, quantities, right? So another thing that Amazon did, right, in order to basically finish, I would say, the freight forwarding business, they said, okay, now basically you have to add like 15 to 20% more on your freight cost if you're using a freight forwarder. But the alternative, use AWD. And if you're going to use AGL, Amazon Global Logistics, you're going to reduce your AWD cost by half, right? So that's like a promotion for AWD. So Amazon really try to do everything in their power to control all the supply chain from point A to point B, right? Now, I would say that it's definitely affected my personal business, right? But if we're taking 100% of the Amazon sellers in the world, and that's maybe something you can elaborate more about that, Marcel. I'm not sure everyone wants to put all their eggs, so to speak, with Amazon, right?
In
Because
one
the
basket.
lack of customer support and customer service by Amazon, everybody knows what's going on with Amazon customer support. Same we will be with AGH, same will be with AWD. So yeah, there is a lot of advantage, but there is a lot of disadvantage also going with AWD and going with AGL. Another thing is that we see that, I'm not sure how much people know about the process, but basically, let's say you ship the goods from China, it's arrived to America, it's been cleared from customs, the container been picked up from the port, go to a warehouse, now it's been distributed to customer. Now basically we set an appointment through the carrier central, not the seller central, through the carrier central to set an appointment with the FBA. So when we set an appointment with FBA, it can take 3 to 5 days approximately. AWD, it can take today, like end of May, 2 to 3 weeks. And I would guess that towards the end of the year, it can take even 1 month and more just to set an appointment. So if you are not aware of that, right? And you said, okay, I regularly send to FBA, it's taking me like 30, 40, 45 days, whatever, right? You have now to calculate differently, totally different timeline, right? Start production much earlier, right? And it of course affects your cash flow and everything. So again, in logistics, there is not really one good solution for everybody that fits to everybody. It's depend on your brand, depend on your scale, depend on your sales velocity, and many more factors that you have to consider before you take a decision. But I would say that your freight cost increased, doesn't matter like what's going to be the solution you're going to take in place.
Yeah, so more costs on the seller. That's
Yeah,
who's paying for everything apparently.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
that's
Basically, yeah.
yeah,
As much as I
that's
don't want to say that, right? But sometimes you have to bring the reality to the real world. Let me
yeah,
put it
yeah.
this way.
Well, higher costs for the seller will reflect in higher prices, will reflected in the end customer that will have to pay more to get the same item. Probably, we'll see. But yeah, I'm very curious because, like you said, I think this, even though Amazon is trying pretty much to go with a monopoly in terms of doing everything like on their side, I strongly believe that people are here like opinions divided. Some of them will truly believe it's a good idea to work with 3PLs, and I'm sure some of them are currently working with 3PLs, while others
Yeah.
might migrate to AGL or AWD actually to work with Amazon. But truly, if you want my honest opinion, and again, this is my opinion, I think that AWD will get overwhelmed at a certain point because things are heavy for them to take care of everything. I don't see that going very far ahead. I don't know how that will shape, let's say, the landscape in the future. What do you think?
Listen, it's hard to say. I can tell you that these days, like, I don't want to say the percentage of my clients that's shifting towards the AWD, not necessarily with AGL, but to AWD in general.
Mm-hmm.
There is a huge shifting of sellers going to AWD, even just to have like, a stock there as a backup plan, right? So
Yeah.
maybe you're gonna keep sending inventory directly to FBA, but you want to have because their storage cost is I don't want to say really low, but it's very low. Okay, so they're gonna put some inventory at AWD center as a backup, and they're gonna ship directly from China or wherever it is to FBA. And in case something happened, delays, whatever it is, which always happen during, like in logistics in general, they're gonna have some backup in America that can send quite easily and quite fast directly to FBA and support their inventory, right? Inventory capacity. So I think if you ask me, that's gonna be a great option to do. What's gonna be later on with AWD? Hard to tell. I think people are more like, getting like, wow, this is such a great solution. But from my experience, and especially for those people using a 3PL in the logistics business, whether it's freight forwarding or 3PL or whatever it is, I told you this when we started. I'm a problem solver. Problem occurred all the time. When something has happened, you want to have somebody that you can connect easily get answers, and find the solution fast. With Amazon, it will not happen, right? So maybe people are
Very hard.
blind, so to speak, with like the cost and the efficiency and everything now, but I'm not sure it will be manageable for long term, especially when we're going towards Q4, you know, and putting all your eggs just in AWD or all your stock, so to speak, just in AWD. I think it's a risky position to put yourself in.
Yeah. I strongly agree with that one. Yeah, maybe I like the idea of having a backup plan, so having maybe some part of the stock with AWD, if that's an option, and also try to maybe spread it through 3PLs as well, or yeah, why not FBA if they allow you to ship in everything into FBA, because you do have limitations there in terms of the amount of units that you can ship to FBA. Sometimes that can be a problem, especially before Q4. So yeah, that's a different topic. But yeah, what cautions do you think that the Amazon sellers should have in mind when choosing like to work with AGL, with Amazon Global Logistics, or with the AWD, the Amazon warehousing distribution system? Yeah.
I think before we go into that, one thing that people need to recognize is that if you're gonna put inventory at AWD and you want to keep sending inventory directly to FBA, you need to have a much more stable cash flow, right? Because you have to
Yeah.
place more orders with your suppliers. You put your stock, you know, with AWD for long storage. You don't know when you're gonna use it. You get the money from Amazon 180 days after a sale, right? So think about how much inventory. Basically, you place an order, you pay deposit to your supplier 30%, then you pay the balance 70%, then you send it to AWD. You can see sales, I don't know, from the moment you place the order and pay the deposit, easily 6 months later, and then get the money 180 days later. So it's crazy to think about, like, right? So I think the
Yeah.
biggest obstacle here will have like a stable cash flow and raise capital or whatever it is, the solution for that. In terms of the cautions you have to take when you're using AGL is, again, remember that something will happen along the lines, right? From the moment the goods been picked up to the moment the goods will be delivered. I don't want to say all sellers, but let me put it this way, and I'm humble, okay? In the percentage I give you now, 80% of Amazon sellers have no idea whatsoever, nothing about logistics, about how logistics operate, and more, right? So when you don't have any experience and you don't have any knowledge and you don't have any support from the other side, right, it can cause some problems. So I think before you're choosing AGL, AWD is a different story, but before you're using AGL, I just can properly say that learn a little bit about logistics, understand what does it mean in commercial terms, understand what is the HTS code, how you're going to declare it, what's going to be your duty ratio, and so on and so on. So later on, you're not going to have surprises, right? Because with a freight forwarder, you can fight with them, disagree, whatever it is. With Amazon, you can disagree, whatever you want. They simply doesn't care, right? So
Yeah.
you rather they have your credit card, they get the balance from your credit card, and that's it, right? It's
True.
simple and easy. So if I can give any advice, I'm not against using AGL. Again, they are not my competitor because I cannot compete with Amazon, not with how they market AGL. But let's say they are kind of competitor of Proboxx. But I would say that if you want to use AGL, first make sure you understand the cost structure or the quoting structure they give you. Make sure that the quote is reasonable and understand the process that is going to take you along the way to have a successful and efficient process for a specific logistics process.
Yeah. Yeah, that's perfectly said. I mean, thank you for that. Actually, for new sellers, definitely there is no room for a mistake, and also for big brands, it's very important to calculate the costs in order to get the best out of logistics, because sometimes it's the logistics and also the actual production prices that can make a huge impact on the entire business. By optimizing these two factors, businesses can actually save a lot of money. So that's very important. But once again, it's always about getting informed or getting a trusted partner. In this case, we have Amit here that yeah, he's doing a great job. I'm gonna add here the website where you can find Amit. It's Proboxx with double X.io.
Yep.
And yeah, look for more information, and maybe yeah, reach out to Amit for a call. Why not, to get some insights and help if needed with logistics in any way. But yeah, Amit, do we have anything else we can share with our audience, or what do you think?
One last thing, and then maybe I can share some like discount that we want to provide to your
Perfect.
audience. But the first thing I would say that considering all the fees, not just the inbound placement fee, all the fees that's going on Amazon, the margin being decreased dramatically, you know, in the Amazon space for Amazon brands with the competition from China, from the Chinese sellers. You always, as a seller and as a business owner, you always have to look on your numbers and try to optimize your cost for not just for logistics, for all your brands. Today we are talking about logistics, definitely, especially now when the freight cost all around the world is booming like crazy. And I'm telling you, like crazy. In May, it's increased in almost 200% just in May. It's the right time now to address it and to look for alternative that perhaps can provide you a better solution, cost-effective wise. In terms of what Proboxx, so Proboxx would like to provide to your audience a $300 discount for the first free shipments with Proboxx, $300 in dollars,
There we go.
300
Yeah.
in total, sorry, $100 per shipment. And you can use the coupon code. I guess you will share with everybody, and
Yeah.
we look forward to hear
I'll
from
put
you
the
guys.
information in the description. Yeah. Thank you for
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
Amit.
and yeah, for sure. And we look forward to hear from you guys.
Absolutely. Yeah, guys, reach out to Amit. Maybe yeah, benefit from this great offer, and always get informed, because at the end of the day, you might be leaking a lot of money in the logistics area. Yeah, you need experts like Amit
Right.
here who actually knows what he's talking about, and yeah, why not get help from people that have done this before? Don't try to learn things on your own, because sometimes that's very much expensive. So, all right. Amit,
Yeah,
thank you very much, buddy, for all
thank
the
you, Marcel.
insights, and yeah, looking forward to seeing you soon again. And yeah, thank you everyone for
Yeah,
watching us. Right?
somewhere all around the world, as we said.
Exactly. All right. Have a great day ahead. Thank you. Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you.